Hi, I'm Lou.
I'm John.
This is us turning up as us, which we do on a fairly regular basis.
Yep.
We're sitting in our kitchen in the UK, in Devon. That's the kind of boot bit at the bottom. And we're just checking in today, just talking about the website and those of you that are there. First of all, welcome to those who joined this week.
Yep.
People join so regularly. And you'll find that much of what we do is we've made a point not to script. This will become very clear as we go along, because we wanted to be us. We didn't want to be professionals, although we are trained professionals. He's a doctor of psychology, I'm a trained counsellor, but we want to turn up kind of as ourselves as well as...
Yeah, we wanted to be as natural as possible. The idea is to, if you were sitting across from us on the couch, then this is what you would get, rather than somebody sort of reading at you, from the script. That was the idea, and some people reckon it works. Yeah. This is going to be a slightly different one from what we've been doing recently. What we've been doing recently is we've been taking a topic and we've been talking about it. This one, we're here and we're just going to kind of let you know a wee bit what's happening with the website, what's happening with us, and so it's more a kind of magazine-y, kind of catch-up-y, newsletter-y type video. This one.
And hot off the press, hairdresser who's not been allowed in because of UK rules, she comes to our house, is now allowed to come for 3 weeks' time. You will be wondering if we're different. You're thinking they've changed. Yeah. So our twins will turn up looking kempt rather than unkempt. I like
Personally, I am quite like my look at the moment, but I've been outvoted 1-1. I don't know what it's like in your household, but my wife has the casting votes, and in fact, she seems to have all the votes. But that's another matter altogether. I'll save my resentments and my hurt for another day.
As you see, being an ex-drinker, he still suffers from denial.
I beg your pardon.
Right. Anyway, just want to talk about various things. Want to talk about feedback.
Yeah.
We would encourage you to do that. When people email us from time to time, or when we work to them one-to-one, we get some really good feedback. But we wouldn't say that it's a characteristic of our website, really.
No, considering the number of people that are in it, the number of emails I get and the amount of traffic on the forum is actually quite low.
The feedback.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you for all the people who do, because we really love getting your feedback, good, bad or indifferent. At least we know there's somebody out there. But also, I think feeding back makes you feel a wee bit more as part of a community. It makes you feel as if you're less by yourself, that you're not alone in this. And I think that was one of the things that, certainly in the early days when we started this website, it's nearly 12 years ago now, and people used to say, wow, I thought I was the only one, because there is this feeling of being alone, there is this feeling of isolation, there is this feeling of there is nobody else, and part of the reason for that is the secrecy. The shame and the stigma make people become secret, therefore they don't talk to people, therefore they don't find out that other people are in much the same position. So actually coming out of that shell, talking to people,
silence has become a kind of a habit, whether you realise it or not, and opening up. You shut yourself down, and so.
I mean, there's an old saying that addiction flourishes in secrecy.
So what we're saying is, we'd love to hear from you. It's encouraging, if you feedback, but also we truly believe as therapists that for you to just begin to talk, and maybe start with us if you want to, means that you are beginning to be in a situation where you're engaged and we're engaged with you, and therefore you're not alone in this vile, torturous world, whether you're addicted to drink or living with an alcoholic. It is such a difficult, dark place to be. And so we would encourage you just even to say thanks for that, or having a hard day, or
And what I encourage you to do is go on the forum.
Yeah.
And I mean, the obvious feedback we get from going on the forum, but nobody talks to me. Fine, let it start with you. let you be the first rather than be the joiner, be the initiator. And there are people who do actually feedback on the forum, you know, and we thank you for those people.
Yeah.
They're stalwarts.
If people, we encourage you to use the forum to pour out your heart.
Yeah.
But again, if you want to pile in a bit and just say, know how you feel,
Yeah.
we love it when you don't just use it as a resource, but you connect with somebody else who's using it as a resource, and then you have a partnership and a shared understanding. So it can be really powerful.
It's part of the ethos of this website, you know, or, you know, that we'd like to make it more part of the ethos.
Yeah. So that's kind of feedback. Another thing we wanted to say is that what we're planning, we fully get that the best gift we can give you is to help your drinker, and that we're always really mindful of that. Now, John, you work one-to-one with drinkers quite regularly, don't you? It's kind of what you do.
I work one-to-one with drinkers, but also work one-to-one with family members. You know, so I work with both.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I feel very privileged to work with both. I think it's a good thing. But what we're doing at the moment is I'm starting to put together, rather than just a kind of one-off meeting, I'm trying to put together a sort of little short program. In my head, I'm thinking of it as a boot camp, you know, where we can try and kickstart change in your life and change in your drinker's life. You know, and I'll be telling you about that very soon. What I would like to do is, we've just been talking about feedback, is if we want to start a group within the group, you know, the people who are really interested in being part of a group that help each other, that I will be part of, I will be leading, I will be mentoring, you know. If you feel that that's something that you would actually be interested in, let me know. Because what we want to do is create a group somewhere between, you know, we'd need at least 5 for it to be viable at all, you know, and anything over 20 would just be too many, so I just want a small group.
Now, you're starting off first of all with drinkers, aren't you?
No, I'm starting with family members.
Oh, I see, okay.
No, I'm starting with the family members, but we're getting the family members to, and that's the boot camp, just help them to help the drinker, which eventually would bring the drinker in.
All right, okay. Yes. That's a great idea.
No, that's the plan. Sorry, I thought you got that. You know.
This is where we do our planning meeting.
Yes.
You know. Okay, well that's great, because I knew you were going to do one for drinkers. So
I am doing one for drinkers. I mean, that's all part of it. You know, the thing will all fit together eventually. You know, but I've got the jigsaw cutting the bits at the moment so that they fit together. But what would be really good is if there is interest out there. If there's no interest, then it's pointless me doing this, you know. But I think, you know, I think it could be quite powerful. In fact, I think it could be very powerful.
Yeah.
I know what self-help groups are like, mutual help groups, and I know what a led mutual help group is like, because I was part of one away at the beginning, and I know the power of that group, you know.
And we've just let you into this deep, intense strategic planning that me and John do, so you can...
Yep, you can see it, you know. I mean, we've been up all night.
Many of our best ideas evolve, actually, don't they? We talk and they come up, and they, and the ones begin to burn in our heart, and then we do them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an encouragement to you. We're always trying to think of ways in which you can help you, because that is personal therapy. There will be a charge, but we always try and bring that down as as low as we possibly can.
And the other thing, of course, is, and again, we go back to feedback. I mean, if there are things that you think that we could do and we don't do, you know, then tell us. You can float the idea. I mean, whether we actually manage to carry through with those ideas, then that's another matter. But we would certainly look at them. We certainly, you know, consider them. And if it's possible, then probably we will, you know, take them forward. So let us know.
It might be a good idea to announce too that I was supposed to have a sabbatical. I've not had one for 40 years. And it was supposed to be in last year in the pandemic. And we bought it, we're going to do it in smaller chunks. So June, we're going to be in our caravan where there's not a lot of signal. Now we're going to pre-record some stuff to keep releasing, but be aware if you contact John over June, that it might take him a while to pick up on the email and get back to you, because you know, we chose it for its obscure.
I try to get back to people as quickly as I possibly can, but you know, we're in the middle of darkest Somerset, you know, and the best way to get in touch with us down there is carrier pigeon, you know, and I think that's or a man with a cleft stick with a note on it, you know. It is like that down there, you know.
It is.
They've laid some cable there, but I'm not sure. I think that means you get 2 tin cans. I think that's the cable between them. That's, yeah.
So we kind of chose it that way, but
we did.
You know, we don't want you to feel that you know you're being ignored. Now, just talk about the chain of care. Now, we talked a bit about financially. This is a free resource.
Yeah.
We also put a lot of our money into just setting it up, because building websites is not a cheap thing to do, and we kind of upgraded it a couple of years ago, which is also very expensive. So we have given that to you as a gift, but you know, year by year, the website needs to be hosted. Security now, just having security is expensive, isn't it? So like you have to pay for security in a website.
Yeah, I mean, Google is getting quite draconian now. You know, if you don't have an SSL certificate, which is about encrypting their data, making sure it's all safe, then they won't even you know, they won't even show your website anymore, and it costs obviously to do that. But can I just say before, you know, just in case you're saying, oh, here it comes, the website will always be free.
Yeah.
You know, we made that decision some time ago. Yeah. The website is free. It will always be free. What we're planning at the moment is to do some extras, and that, sorry, we can't do that for free. But the whole of the website, all of the resources in it, all of the videos, the programs, the whole lot, free.
Yeah.
Is now, always will be.
Yeah.
Just, that's the bottom line.
Yeah. Having said that,
we
have to find the money from somewhere. Now,
yes.
So we've introduced something called the chain of care. Now, if you're watching this, if you're using the website, you are using the website and looking at this because somebody 6 months, a year ago, paid a sum of money so that we could keep the website going and so that you could be helped. And so that's the chain of care. So we appeal to people, and all we ask, and we'll never know whether you do it or not, so this is entirely up to you, but if you are finding help in these resources, that you will make it possible for somebody in the same situation as you in 6 months, 3 months, 6 months time to find this website by keeping it going. So you are sponsoring, there's a word that's used quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
You are sponsoring somebody else to find the same help as you are. And, you know, we would love you to do that. We want you to do it partly because we want other people to have this resource, but also again, this isolated world where it all becomes kind of like this, inevitably, then we invite you to become part of something that is life-giving, where you get life and you're able to give life.
Yeah. But it's also about, we called it a chain of care because what we wanted to do is for, you know, you to pay for somebody else who's paying for somebody else, who's paid for somebody else, who's paid for somebody, and that's the chain. And as Lou said, you know, it's free today because somebody 6 months ago paid for it, you know, and we do have expenses, you know, our expenses run into thousands, you know, and I'm not joking when I say that, you know, that we have paid, you know, quite a few £1,000s over the last year just to upgrade and maintain this website. However, what I have said earlier is that the website is free and it'll always be free. If you donate, then it will continue to be free. If you don't donate, then you'll still get it free. But, you know, but if nobody donates, then eventually...
Yeah, that's all die, and we really don't
it'll die. But that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Not putting a guilt trip on you, I'm just saying that these are the realities.
Absolutely, and there's no way that we know, you know, who's doing it or not, and we've deliberately done it like that, you know. Yeah. So if you donate, we love it. If you don't donate, we're going to bless you anyway.
And what I have to say is for everybody who has donated so far, you know who you are, and
thank you
so much. You know, we really, really appreciate it. You know, our heads are still above water, and we're continuing to do that. You know, sometimes it's just, you know, but our heads are above water. So thank you so much for your generosity.
Yeah. Don't forget the link to Beauty for Ashes. Now, there's a long-held tradition in recovery through the AA groups and everything of the spiritual side of life being really, really helpful, whether you're walking with or are an alcoholic. So we absolutely have found that enormously useful. We didn't want to push that on anybody, so we have a separate space called Beauty for Ashes where we talk about our journey. I think it's true to say that the spiritual aspect of our lives has been life-giving, peace-giving, you know, it's been enormously important, and we would encourage you to check out and find that out for yourself. But of course that is your choice. So the link now has been put back again.
The link was there, it's just broken. Google wouldn't, you know, this was part of my work yesterday, is that Google wouldn't show it, and it wouldn't show it because it didn't have an SSL certificate, you know, which again is about encrypting the data so that people are safe online. And I thought it had one, but it didn't, so I had to get that sorted yesterday. So we're back online again. I have to say about Beauty for Ashes is that Beauty for Ashes, if you're looking for something super spiritual, then, you know, don't go to Beauty for Ashes, because that's not what it's about. It's a practical spirituality. It actually looks at, you know, it looks at some of the issues with it as well, you know, but also introduces, you know, who we believe God actually is. You know, not who some people think he is, but who we have experienced.
In fact, that's our first section, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
We all jump that people immediately connotate with when we start talking about this. So.
Absolutely.
Okay then, so, you know, I think if you're new, just want you to know that we're here because you matter to us. You'll find out that I lived with a drinker for 29 years. John was given 6 months to live in his 30s because of alcohol. I've got children of alcoholics, and I've been through that and watched them in their pain. So this is something that, though we're professional therapists, this is something we have absolutely experienced to the core of our being. So
our combination of, it may not be unique, but it's certainly rare.
It's unusual,
very rare. You know, it's an unusual combination. So you have the sort of the professional experience and the personal experience melded together. You also have the drinker and the, you know, and the partner of the drinker together. So it's an unusual and interesting combination, which actually allows us to talk about the problem from interesting perspectives that you just might not see elsewhere.
And we're in it for our heart. You know, our hearts are concerned for you. We want to be there for you as much as we can, and you matter. Your pain matters, your family matters, your relationship matters. And whether you've been here for a while or whether you've just arrived, this is why we turn up as us, because you're a person with real issues, and we want to be people, not just scripted professionals, because we've been there and we understand this journey. So,
and I'd also like to say, you know, you may think there's not an awful lot going on, you know, because people aren't feedback, people are quite secretive. We have a mailing list of over 4,000 people. We have had, over the last year and a half, we've had 1,800 people through the website as members, both drinkers and non-drink, and family members. So there are a lot of you out there, you know, there are a lot of you. Again, talk to each other, talk to us, you know, let's start the community, let's really kick it off. That's what we'd really like to happen, you know, because the more you can sort of support each other, then the less you're alone. Okay.
And the forum in particular.
The
place where that comes into its own.
This isn't me saying, "Oh, please talk to me."
No, we
talk to each other.
We've got plenty of work to do. We've
got
lots of clients.
But if you want to talk to us as well, do that.
You know? John's private practice. There's an elective fee and a proper fee, isn't there? Because we always want to make the threshold as low as possible. So he does 1-to-1, both with families and with drinkers, and you know.
But watch that space, because things, you know, I'll be offering more things fairly soon.
And he's lovely, though I say it myself.
You're slightly biased again. Only the slightly.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for listening.
Yep.
Yeah, just come join in, be blessed. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.